Everybody who is not all in committed to their transformation are going to fail. They're not going to transform. And this is just a cold, sad fact of life. Most people in society, most people around you, most or all the people in your family and peer group probably are not going to change much their entire life, right? They're going to, for the most part, stay exactly the way that they are. They're going to continue to suffer. They are going to continue to make other people suffer, right? Especially if you're for those that are in a relationship with them, right? And it's really easy to talk about being committed, right? To really being serious about transforming, right? Everybody likes to talk about that. But you don't actually see many people walking the talk. And that's why most people fail, right? That's why most people are going to stay stuck in their life. And this is one of my favorite topics. Like, I love talking about polarity, right? But I love talking about this deep inner mindset and belief and seriousness so much more, right? It really is so much more important. Because here's the thing, like, let's talk about the academy for a moment, right? So that's our group program for men and women. If I gave everybody free entry into it, and gave them all the support in the world, the vast majority of people would not do the work. They wouldn't. They would not do anything. They would not change. They probably wouldn't even do the material, let alone actually take it seriously enough to move through all of their fears, right? This change that we are talking about, this level of transformation, is the scariest, most difficult thing that a man or woman could do, right? For a man to truly move through all of his fears and limiting beliefs and truly step into his dominance and lead everything in a relationship out of love, and for a woman to fully let go of all control and just open up her heart and be vulnerable and just be able to receive, right? There is no more difficult work than that, right? And that's why so much of the stuff that people do to keep themselves busy in life, right? They do that stuff because it's easier, because it's less scary, right? Whether it's hobbies and sports and jobs and whatever else people are doing, whatever they're learning, whatever they're changing. This stuff is seriously messing with your identity, right? With your deepest beliefs about yourself, right? It will challenge everything. And that's awesome, right? That's the thing. It's that most people are too weak to handle that. I'm just being blunt and serious here. Most people are too weak to handle that kind of change. Everybody is capable of choosing not to be weak, to stop being cowardly, and to stop staying stuck in their excuses. It's just that most make the choice not to, right? It is always a choice. It is always your choice. I don't care what anybody's situation is, right? And I'm talking about money, there's like time, and obviously there's some people with more obstacles than others. I'm not saying we're all on an equal playing field here, right? Single mothers, for example, working at a not the best kind of job. Obviously, there is a lot more limitations, right? Like practical limitations. But what I am saying is that anybody who is 100% committed, right, has that burning desire and mindset of, I don't give a fuck what my obstacles are. I am going to overcome them because this work is so unbelievably important to me. I will not let anything stop me, right? That is the mindset that people need to have. And the people that have that in life do unbelievable things, right? And I've talked about, I can't remember where I talked about this, but I've talked about this before, right? Like an example of this man that I had researched who has no arms and legs that climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. He has no fucking arms and legs, and he climbed up Mount Kilimanjaro. I don't even know if I could do that right now. Like I'm not very fit. I really need to work on that. But there's no arms and legs, right? That's unbelievable to climb up that mountain. That's not a little hill. That's a really big mountain. I think there's another guy that climbed Mount Everest that had no legs or something. And like most people with their mindset would just be like, that's too hard. Most people, if they had no legs, wouldn't even get out of bed, right? They're just going to sit in a wheelchair and do nothing all day, right? Because it's challenging, right? It's challenging to do something that's so far out of your comfort zone, especially when you have a practical obstacle like having no legs, right? And it's the same for all of this stuff. And I want people to really understand this, because you're going to have all your excuses. Like, okay, let's talk about this. Let's talk about the academy for a second as an example to this. There's lots of people that really would like to join, right? And I know that. Probably hundreds of people in our free group are really like, fuck, I want to join the academy, or like at least really thinking about it. And right, what are the obstacles what are the excuses that are coming up, right? Maybe judgment of other people, time, I'm too busy, I got work, I don't have enough money, I don't think I can make enough money, I don't know if I'm good enough, right? I don't know, like all of this kind of stuff, right? And that's the kind of, it's not just about the academy, it's about anything, any real goal that you have in life that you really want. Most people sabotage themselves before they even start, or just barely started, right? In my life, I used to be so terrified of doing anything new because I didn't want to fail, right? My entire identity was based on being really competent and so I wouldn't even try new things unless I was really sure that I'd be competent, right? So my biggest block, it wasn't money, it wasn't time, it wasn't any of that stuff. It was my own mindset, my own mindset, my own belief about myself. And like looking back, I'm like, what the hell was wrong with me? I wasted years of my life not stepping into available solutions that I knew about that would have been amazing, because I was like a virgin and couldn't talk to women and was no self-confidence and all this other stuff. And there were real solutions that I could have stepped into, and I didn't, because I was stuck in making excuses and seeing obstacles and not doing anything about overcoming them, right? My mindset shifted almost overnight. Like it was one of the biggest turnarounds I think anyone's ever had, where, I had this experience where I went out, I was putting some effort and risking rejection, went out on a date, tried to kiss this girl, got rejected. It blew up my entire reality. Went home and I cried like a baby for hours. And it really shifted something deep in me. And that's when I really started getting into self-development. And I, within a period of like a couple weeks of just researching and understanding and integrating this stuff, I developed this mindset that I will not let anything ever again stop me from my goals, especially my own bullshit, because that is the biggest obstacle that most people have. It's really the only obstacle that most people have, right? They'll have other practical stuff, but it's the mindset about the obstacle that's the real obstacle, right? And so that's why I've gotten to where I am today, right? Where the vast majority of people would have given up where I started. I did things like I went out for years and scared the shit out of myself socially, because I had this inner vision of myself, this inner vision of this of this Zach Rody that is just like free, right? He's not inhibited of everything, right? He's like, he can lead, he can, you know, set boundaries, he can express any opinion that he has, speak his truth, not hold anything back, no matter what. This was before learning about polarity and all that kind of stuff. But for me, it was really what I needed at the time. And that inner vision of myself was like, I don't care, nothing else matters, right? I mean, like, some stuff mattered a little bit, but relative to that, it was like, nothing is going to fucking stop me from achieving that inner vision of myself, of getting to that level as a man, as a human being, right? And so that's what I did, right? It's like, fears come along, okay, I'm going to move through it, you know, as much as possible. I'm going to move through it. I'm going to move through it. I'm going to move through it. And quickly, right? Not something that's going to take decades and decades, but in a really short period of time. And that's why, you know, the main thing that I care about for potential clients that I'm looking for is people who are seriously committed. We're like, I'm going to do whatever the hell it takes, right? This is so important to me as a goal that I am not going to let myself self-sabotage, get stuck in excuses, you know, stay stuck behind obstacles, practical or made up. I'm going to move through whatever fear is necessary, right? Whatever blocks are necessary, I'm going to do it, right? And it is that burning desire, like, I know I'm going to do this. And first of all, for people to get there, they have to really believe that it's possible for themselves, right? That they're capable of it. And everybody is. Everybody is, okay? I cannot hammer that into people enough. Everybody's capable of this. You've got to believe that. And if you don't believe it, you have to just act on faith until it starts to become obvious, right? But those are the people we want, because I don't want to invite people in, even if it was, you know, even if they paid, right? Even if they paid, it's like, if they are going to half-ass this, it's a waste of my time. It's a waste of my coaching team's time. It's a waste of their time. It's a waste of their money. What the hell's the point of that, right? And that's where I get into the self-improvement hamster wheel thing I like talking about, where, you know, people spend decades in the self-improvement hamster wheel where they've like kind of convinced themselves that they're serious, right? Because, I've done like 15 programs, like I'm super serious about self-transformation. But, you know, it's like the proof is in the pudding kind of thing, right? It's like, because you can do most programs and it's like, you know, a few, like some one-on-one calls and whatever else, some group calls and some videos, like that doesn't take that, you know, other than whatever the price is, that doesn't take that much commitment, right? That's a time commitment. Anybody can do that. And that's why in the academy, our main focus is, let's scare people. Let's move people through their biggest fears. Because if they're not going to do it in the academy, in a safe, loving container with real support, they're definitely not going to do it in their life, right? Where people might be reacting to them based on their own triggers and everything, right? No. And so I want, you know, that's why I advertise my program, the academy, as like, we're going to scare you. You are going to be really scared and uncomfortable doing this. And if you can't handle that, then you like just give up, right? Just don't even bother trying to improve yourself. Because if you're not willing to move through all your discomfort and fear, then you will get nowhere, absolutely nowhere, right? If you're not willing to do what it takes, you know, financially, time-wise, energy-wise, you're going to get nowhere. We're talking like, this is a real serious talk here, right? No sugarcoating anything. I want people to understand this, because what you are facing with this choice is either a life of having absolutely everything you want in your love life, also financially, just happiness, joy, all that kind of stuff, versus whatever shit you're dealing with right now. only what might end up potentially getting worse as you get older, and less, there's less available suitors, and there's more drama if you're in a relationship that gets increasingly dysfunctional and might lead to divorce and whatever, right? That's the choice you're facing. Most people are going to choose to take the comfortable, but it's actually much more painful, right? In the end, there's a lot more pain that they're going through. And I think it's way more scary, right? Facing that future of, not having everything that you want, and like the loneliness and the, for a woman, like not being seen, for a man, like not feeling fully received, and, just not even coming close to living up to your potential. That's terrifying to me, right? But and of course the other way is, yeah, there's a different kind of fear, right? But it's so like it should be the easiest choice in the world for people. It should be the easiest choice in the world. But when it comes down to it, people will spend tens of thousands of dollars on a car, hundreds of thousands of dollars on their house, right? Probably $80,000 on their education for a totally useless bullshit degree that does nothing for them for most fields. And then how much are they going to spend on transforming themselves as a human being, as a man or as a woman, getting everything that they want out of their love life, right? It just really shows where people's priorities are. And it really shows why most people stay really, really stuck. Right? I want to get people unstuck. I get people unstuck by being completely unfiltered and telling you the hard truth about what you're doing and what you're not doing, and what you can have and what you will have if you don't take this stuff seriously, right? I want people who are really committed to this, who really feel that deep, burning desire in their heart to go through this transformation, to move through all of their fears, to overcome whatever obstacle necessary. Those are the people I want to hear from. I want you to send me a private message on Facebook. Let me know that you watched this video. Let me know that you are dead serious about this level of transformation. Because if you are, we can get you to where you want to be. We can get you to become the dominant man that you're capable of being as a man, or as a radiant woman who's let go of all control, radiant, vulnerable woman. I want to hear from you. Send me a private message. Let's talk.